Divine Grace. By Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Samaved Gaura Bhaktarunda Ki Jai. Yantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Itai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to assembled Lord. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, text number 59. Can I have some light? Nadasya Nadasya Nadyasya Nadosya Niravidyanta Tabhyo Lohitamabrutam Nadyastataha Samabhavan Udaram Nirabriyata Nadyosya Niravidyanta Tabhyo Lohitamamrutam Nadyastataha Samabhavan Udaram Nirubhidyata Nadyosya Niravidyanta Labhyo Lohitamamrutam Nadyastataha Samabhavan Udaram Niravidyata Nadyosya Niravidyanta Tabhyo Lohitamabrutam 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 Nadyastataha Samabhavan Udaram Niravidyata. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The veins of the universal body, became manifested, and thereafter the red corpuscles outward. In their wake came the rivers, the deities presiding over the vein, and then appeared an abdomen. Purple. Blood veins are compared to rivers, and the veins were manifested in the universal form. The rivers in the various planets were also manifested. The controlling deity of the river is also the controlling deity of the nervous system. The Ayurvedic treatment, those who are suffering from the disease of nervous instability are recommended to take a bath by dipping into a flowing river. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagam Tam Sajivam Advaitam Savadhutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Pada Lalita Sri Vishaka Vinamsha Tema Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prashadine Devi Shesha Srinyavadi Bhashyapyali Chatarini Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram. Adyosya Nirvidyanta Abhyo Lohitamamrutam Najjastataha Samohaman Udaram Nirvidyata. The veins of the universal body became manifested. Thereafter, the red corpuscles or blood. In their wake came the rivers, the deities presiding over the veins, and then appeared as abdomen. So this is the extension of knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. Whatever Krishna is speaking in Bhagavad Gita is giving the abridged knowledge of what is in all the Vedas. And the details are explained in many scriptures. And the essence of all the scriptures again is appearing in this Srimad Bhagavatam. So, as explained in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavat explores only pure devotional service. Now, these verses in third chapter, then you come to the fifth canto and all. What does it relate to the pure devotional service? Normally, pure devotional service, people like to jump to the 10th canto. But as Ras Leela is important, that is Krishna's Leela, creation is also Krishna's Leela. So when you hear these pastimes also about how Krishna created, first primary creation, secondary creation, and through that creation, how 8,400,000 different kinds of bodies are created. So this creation is also Krishna's pastime. Anything Krishna does is pastime. And by seeing this or by hearing this, our heart is contaminated from envy. Because we see, as yesterday we were talking about, we do not know the extent of Krishna's power. And therefore, our little power, we think we are big. So you see, the Krishna, the Kapila Muni is explaining in this chapter how the body is formed, then the how the creation is formed, and then he goes into the detail of how Jiva in the womb of mother, how he is formed. So there are so many different stages of formation, and all that are coming from Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu is just an insignificant extension of Supreme Personality Krishna. And so when you see this extension of the extension of the extension is this body. So therefore, whatever is there in the nature is in our body. And when this body is aligned with the nature, then only human being can be peaceful. And that peacefulness is required to practice spiritual life. So therefore, one who reads Srimad Bhagavatam, he understands that I am an insignificant part of whatever is around me. I am not an independent, separate person. I'm just an insignificant part of, there is, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Everything unmanifested and manifested is coming from me. So these are the details. Then he goes into the 15th chapter. He explains the tree of all the Vedic branches. And then he said, why all this knowledge is given? To cut the knot with determination. Right? So this is when we get all this knowledge, and then what we cannot see with our eyes, Krishna is explaining now through Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, so that we don't have to waste our time. Ultimately, Bhunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvan Mahaprapadyate, we will come to this conclusion. Then why we waste our time? So therefore, Vedic literature gives sufficient knowledge to live in this world and learn about all the branches which are related to this body. But ultimately, Krishna concludes, no matter how much you try to control, you are not to control. Maya Dakshina Prakriti. So it is Sacharacha. And then he goes on explaining in different 24 elements how this body is made. And those all 24 elements are coming from nature. And some are subtle. So in this way, this Krishna is establishing his supremacy. In many scripture we hear God created, but it is not mentioned how it is created. So Krishna is, Kapil Muni is explaining in this Bhagavatam how the universe is created. And I was explaining yesterday evening in the program, scientists are still figuring out the Big Bang theory, right? How the world is created. So as I was saying yesterday, I was giving one lecture in the college about the Big Bang theory, the Srimad Bhagavatam view. And there was some place in Europe, they dig a tunnel of about 30 miles or something, and they're trying to bang this Paramanu or whatever that is, scientific, to understand how this Big Bang theory is worked. And 3,000 scientists were working, and millions of dollars, they're spending all that just to find out how the creation is created. And still they are confused. So I was telling in that lecture, I said, if you just spend 3,000 rupees, you get Bhagavatam, you can understand how the creation is created. You don't have to worry about all those things, engaging so many scientists. So this is we will never be able to understand this universe with our knowledge. Impossible. Even though they're trying to go to Moon and Mars, and there's already some timetable there. They're going to Mars and then some other planets this year, that year. So they may go, as Prabhupada explains, this is all hoax, this is all cheating. They didn't go. So And when we read the Bhagavatam, we can see the distance of the moon. It is impossible to go there. No, but their calculation, they might have some confusion. And Prabhupada said they went to what is that, Arizona. It is just Arizona, right? So it is impossible to understand the creation of God. Just like a very simple example, when we eat gulab jam, rasgulla, and if somebody wants to detect what is the ingredients in gulab jam, it is impossible. Impossible. How much sugar is there, how much ghee is used, how much malai is used, how much milk is used. Impossible. You may do 10 PhDs on one rasgulla, dissecting and all these things, but impossible. The simple thing is go and ask the Mataji, how do you make it? Simple thing. So what happens? You enjoy the rasgulla also. You learn how to make it also. You learn how it is made and you understand everything. So similarly, Krishna is giving this knowledge of creation because nobody knows it. Krishna have to give this knowledge, and because nobody knows it, he is the one who created. He is the one who is created. And uh, even if somebody understands how this universe is created, as I was saying yesterday again, so they will never understand what is the purpose of this creation. Nobody, scientists will never ever be able to understand what is the purpose. So, purpose of all this universe is to give a chance to a jiva, go back to God. So sufficient knowledge of this world is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. And no matter how much scientific knowledge and instruments and brains and money you spend, you will finally come to this conclusion. But they don't accept this version because they have faith in their own brain. So by our own brain, you cannot even you cannot you cannot even understand what is going on in your body, by your own brain. You cannot understand. So you eat a food and then becomes urine and stool. How this is going on? Feed a cow a grass and it becomes a milk, stool and urine. How that is done, And so when a woman gives birth to a baby, right at that time the milk comes. Is there any factory in this world which can do that? Any machinery? So even if you consider this body as a machinery, and just imagine this machinery can create another machinery. Now you create some TV, that TV cannot create another TV. So if you create a car, that car cannot create another car. But this body can create another similar body. So this is amazing science of Krishna. Amazing science. So if you want to understand Krishna intellectually, those who are devotees, this is the pastime for them. But if you want to intellectually understand how Krishna is the supreme and how he is creating, so therefore Bhagavatam is giving, okay, this is appetite is there, intellectually I can fulfill this one too. So in this way, even the Bhagavatam, even though it's a scripture which explores only pure devotional service, but there are so many other kinds of people are also sitting. Yeah, there are Sankhya yogis. So he also gives that. But Shukdev Goswami's intention is not to give a Sankhya philosophy. His intention is to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead by this Leela of creation. So when we hear this also, this is a Leela of Krishna, that how he creates this universe. And then he also explains this is very difficult to get out from this. Because these are what we are seeing is just earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And they become subtle by subtle, one by one, And the most subtle is the soul. And soul is not the controller of the body, as people think. When soul leaves, the body goes. No. Soul has no control over this body. He is there as long as Paramatma is there. Paramatma is the owner. Soul is tenant. And body is the house. We are not the owners of even this body. Now the body comes and goes according to the Karmana Daiva Nitrena. Karmana Daiva Nitrena. That is Krishna's desire. So he arranges everything And that's how we get this body. And that's it is so wonderfully explained by Muni, how the body formed in the body. If you see, even today's science is not close to that. That's why they come up, up to 3 months, baby is not formed because they just see the form of a baby. Then they think there is a soul, there is a life. So they are allowed to kill any baby till I don't know what is today's status on that. That is up to 3 months. It was there when I was learning something. So maybe they have come close, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Because they see a pea, which is already mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, from the semen and the thing from woman, there is a forms in a pea. And then slowly in 2 months, it starts getting eyes, legs, and then next, then it starts developing those body. And just imagine he's sitting there in one position and developing. No, it's just like this. And still becoming growing. And that baby comes out, and by getting the same ingredients which his mother was providing, now he's getting outside and then he's getting. Now see, so therefore the devotee is not concerned about maintaining this body because this body is maintained by the Lord. So therefore, they are not worried about maintenance. There is very nice Abhanga of Tukaram Maharaj. So he's saying that what is the proof that Krishna takes your care throughout your life? What is the proof? Why you are wasting so much your money? And he says, your stomach is only this much. Huh? How much we have working for just filling this such a little belly? How much we are doing, and belly, from belly everything comes. All the vikar come from belly. Sex desire also come from the food. What kind of food we eat? If we eat sattvic food, your sex desire will be controlled. If you eat tamasic and rajasic food, your sex desire will be completely out of control. So the food is important. So Tukaram is saying, why you have to worry so much about maintenance? Here is the proof. He said, as soon as the child is born, milk is ready, right? It doesn't come before. Milk is ready as soon as child is born. And that baby don't go to any university or any college to learn how to suck the milk. Just newborn is not even, he cannot even open his eyes yet in this world. Therefore, in the Vedic culture, now modern culture, they want to do whatever they want. In Vedic culture, the woman after delivery for 15 or 30 days kept in a dark because it's too much for the baby to get that light. But here, they bring it and put it under light. So, but it's too much for the baby to come and see the light. So even he has not seen the light, but he knows how to drink the milk. He didn't take any course or anything. He goes to the breast and he sucks the milk. And that gives the nutrition till he starts anna prashan, starts eating the anna. So he said that is the proof. Krishna is, before you are even born, the arrangement is made of your food. So don't worry about food. Krishna is saying, don't worry about food. So therefore, Krishna has created this everything. The only thing we have no knowledge. And therefore we are wasting for the same purpose Krishna has created this universe. That I want to do these things. Unless I do these things, I will not get them. Unless I do this thing, I will not get this thing. But Krishna is providing even if you do or don't do. He is the one who is giving. Right? So this is the science in Srimad Bhagavatam. It is explained how this universe is created. So directly it has nothing to do with Krishna. Krishna's creation is there. But spiritually, the creation, it's a part of Krishna's Leela. And he's teaching us through this. So this is the word is like this, so complicated. So many things are there in this word which is impossible to understand by our own knowledge. So we read Bhagavatam, everything becomes easy. And Krishna is categorically explaining in Sankhya Yoga how the body is formed as well as how the universe is formed, how there are uh, creation and dissolution, how many forms of creation and dissolution. And when you see this, that's why one of the topic of Bhagavad Gita is Kala, the time. This time is so, it is unlimited. There is no beginning and no end. So for our tiny brain, it is very difficult to understand how there is no beginning and there is no end. So for people like this to accept a soul which has no beginning and no end is very difficult. Because in our understanding around the world, there is nothing everything has a beginning and everything has an end. We have no example in front of us which is eternal. No example in front of us. Everything that is created, it is destroyed. May not be today, tomorrow, 10,000 years, 100,000 years. It is destroyed. So therefore, the devotees, they don't go for itihasa. They don't go for history. Their history is Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana and Mahabharata, because everything is destroyed. Now, so you get the history from a parampara. And that history is not changing because related to Krishna. All other histories, the politicians comes and they change the history according to their opinion. In India, it's going on. They think this is the history, they think this is the history. But Bhagavatam is created at the beginning of creation. Krishna gave this knowledge. And still we are studying the same knowledge of creation. No change of a single word. Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita 5,000 years ago. Not one word is changed. But today, everybody, is even the scientists, they give disclaimer. Whatever we are saying is not complete. Nobody can say what my knowledge is given complete. Even if you go to doctor, those who are expert in all the body, they can take a disclaimer. I'm trying to treat, but if something happens, I'm not responsible. But Krishna don't say that. I will give you the path and I will be responsible to take care of you. If you surrender unto me, I am responsible. I will take care of you. So he's already taking care. Only thing we have to realize that Krishna is taking care. As I was saying, Karam's example, the milk is already ready. So food is already ready. I cannot create a single grain, one banana from my intelligence. Impossible. Millions of dollars you can spend and you cannot create one banana. But Krishna gives that seed, you sow it, and you'll get 100 bananas. Now, sometimes I say, this is Krishna's mutual fund. 100% guarantee. You sow one and you will get hundreds of seeds. Can any mutual fund give you that in 3 months or 4 months? You see, you sow one rice seed or wheat seed, in 3 months, in that one stream, you get 100. How much Krishna is giving? You sow one mango seed, it goes on giving fruits for hundreds of years, every year, thousands of fruits. Is there anything in this world? This is Krishna's mutual fund. So long-term investment. So therefore, people use agriculture and they were in the farming because this is what is given to you. You do that. Cow is there to give the milk and use that for, now you understood, how Krishna is the controller. I am not the controller. And then you automatically surrender. Our ego is there till we don't know the greatness of the personality. It sometimes happens, when you go for yatra, you go to Mayapur. You're standing in front next to a devotee who is unknown to you, but he is a very big person. But somebody can say, oh, then immediately you become because you don't know his glory. Once you know his glory, oh, this man, I heard about him so many times. So similarly, when you hear so much glories of Krishna, immediately you become respectful. And that is the beginning of devotional service, to become respectful. So there is no love yet. Love will be there in the 10th canto. These are the things creating respect for Krishna. To understand he is not an ordinary person. So through the respect, then the relationship will develop and then we will come to the stage of prema. And then 10th canto is easy to understand. So this is the reason all these explanation is given. Now there is a very special word used here, how the blood is created. Now, Prabhupada's one word I was remembering when I was reading this. It said, I have spent tons of blood. Now, Prabhupada said that. So how we should value that Prabhupada's blood, you know? And when Prabhupada said, it is my blood, he knows how the blood is formed. He knows what is going on to make that blood and how it takes. But his body is completely, dedicated to Krishna. You know? It's like, see, some days ago, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj was here. Now, if you see his body, he has completely given up the control of the body. His disciples take care. They say, do whatever you want. You know? But when he sits on Vyasasana, you see he's like a lion. You know? So what is that power? Where is that power? It's not a body. You know, if you see any ordinary man like that, he'll be probably lying in ICU, you know, without doing any unnecessarily troubling other people. There is one disciple of Prabhupada in New Vrindavan, Bhagabhadra Prabhu. When he joined, he was a wrestler, strong body, he has muscles and everything. So he was massaging Prabhupada, you know. And he was massaging Prabhupada like so strong, you know. Prabhupada is like about 75 plus at that time. So he's massaging Prabhupada and he's massaging so hard, you know, on his back. And Prabhupada said, harder, you know. Now he's using all his might to force Prabhupada to give massage. Prabhupada says, harder. And he says, I was sweating. I was using my extra. And Prabhupada was saying, harder, harder, and harder. Now, if you see body of Prabhupada, if you see any picture of Prabhupada, how he looks, you know, and he's like a strong, so that power is of the soul, not of a body, you know, ordinary body. The body our body may be physically strong, but very weak in the soul. And who gives the strength to the body? The soul gives, you know. Otherwise, why elephant have such a big body and ant has such a big body, a small body? So the soul doesn't be big, it's the same soul. But only thing the power is explained, like Prabhupada gives the example of sun. Like sun is in one place, his rays are spreading. So similarly, soul is in one place, heart, but the rays, the consciousness is spread all over the body. So this science of this body is given to us to understand how this functions, and this is out of your control. And therefore, when you look at the world, when you see water, what do you think? This is Krishna's energy. When you see big, beautiful hills, these are Krishna's bones. You know, when you see river, this is Krishna's blood. You know, so we should not think, oh, blood means it should be red. You know, that is our understanding of blood. But what is our real understanding? That is explained in these words. When you see any river, Krishna is saying it's like a blood or veins. You know, just like our veins are going. So similarly, in the whole world, if you see the map of the whole world, like imagine when you are flying, you see so many rivers are flying here, there. So they are the veins of this world which are providing water to the people. So similarly, the blood veins are providing blood to all this city, like Puranjana explained, this whole city, the blood is going everywhere. So this same blood, you see, comes to the heart, comes and goes back again. Is there any machine in this world? You know, just to have that blood circulation, when you go to the hospital, if they put you on a what you call some kind of machine that moves the blood in the body, they charge you thousands of dollars, you know, in the hospital. Now that is happening here free. You know, blood is created. When they put your blood in your body, how much money they charge? But that blood is created here from grain and water and the fruits we eat, which are also created by Krishna. So this is such an amazing, when you go on reading this, you keep on realizing what an amazing creation is this, you know. And then you don't feel like enjoying it. Your awe and reverence is there, and it belongs to somebody. Then who is that person? I use that knowledge to serve him, and that is the purpose of all the explanation of creation and all these things. And so, as Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita, Rahasyam, you know, last chapter is saying that I will tell you the secrets of all these things. He said, Manmana Bhagavad Bhakti. This is the secret. So what we have to find out from all these creation and all these things is bhakti. That is the only conclusion. You know, we have so many avenues to surrender to Krishna. So knowledge is one of the avenues, and with knowledge comes realization. And when we have this both knowledge and realization, then our faith becomes firm. And when faith becomes firm, at least on a duty level, we surrender to Krishna. And then relationship builds and that develops into prema. So prema is not there in the beginning. In the beginning, there has to be awe and reverence. Because as also Prabhupada mentions in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that when we worship Radha Krishna, actually we are not worshipping Radha Krishna. We are worshipping them as Lakshmi Narayan or Sita Ram. Because we do not have that love as the gopis have when they dress Krishna. No? So we dress them with awe and reverence. Therefore, there are so many rules and regulations are there. In Vrindavan, there are no rules and regulations. They pick up any flower, they make a garland, they put it on Krishna, and they jump on Krishna, they dance on Krishna. You know, Yashoda puts whatever Krishna, those she wants on Krishna, Krishna is accepting. So we are not dressing Krishna like in the mood of Yashoda. We are dressing Krishna as awe and reverence. So through that awe and reverence, we develop our faith more and more. And we hope one day we can achieve that prema by praising the deities and everything. So purpose of all these Bhahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mahapatyate Vasudevam Sarvati Samahatma Sudurlabha. So he sees Vasudev in all the creation. Golok Namni Nivasati Akhilatma Buddha. Even though this flute playing boy staying in Golok Vrindavan, but he has such a manifestation, such a huge manifestation, it can tickle your brain and then you will not be able to understand. Correct? So he himself have to give the knowledge. If you want this knowledge, okay, this is the knowledge, you take it. You will not be able to understand. You are trying to explore what is universe, okay, let's take this. Now, then he comes, then he tells it is not that you are exploring universe, you are going to understand anything. Explore within. Like Raghunath Maharaj, right? Journey within. Now we have to have a journey within from where we have come and why we are in this material world and why this is such a huge creation, what's my role in this? So that is the purpose of this whole chapter, to bring you to the point of bhakti. And then after explaining all these things, then he gives the bhakti. So this is such a amazing personality Krishna is. So we should not take him for granted. And that is his power. So therefore, when we read Bhagavatam, sometimes devotee try to skip, ये तो material creation है. इसको कुछ तो समझ में आता है यार, चलो आगे. वो लीला है बस 9th canto, 10th canto, जहाँ पर लीला है उसमें पढ़े. So no, that is not the thing. This is also Krishna's lila. We should not skip it. We should try to understand in detail. And that will increase our faith in Krishna and how Krishna is created and how Krishna is the controlling. So ultimate point is brings down Vasudevam Sarvati. Vasudeva is everywhere, pervading everywhere. And to bring that consciousness, Krishna is through Bhagavatam or Vedic literature is giving so much of knowledge. So in Kali Yuga, our brain is not even fertile to understand a simple knowledge. Bhagavad becomes a very difficult book for us because our brain is spoiled, by so many other things. Some years ago when I was traveling, the airport, I saw one T-shirt. I was born intelligent, education spoiled me. I was born intelligent. See, this knowledge is there when you are born. In the same Kapil Dev Muni, the fortunate soul remembers these miseries when he is in the womb of mother. The knowledge is there, but when you come outside, happy birthday, so he thinks, oh, really it is happy, People are saying happy, though he also thinks it is happy. But what we have prayed, Krishna in the womb of mother, and the same Kapil Dev explains, what we have prayed, please Narayana, relieve me from this miserable condition. When we come out, we forget. So therefore, again, Krishna is so merciful through the scripture. He gives us how this material world is miserable. And he explains how your birth was miserable. Sometimes it is difficult to understand how the birth is miserable. Everybody becomes happy. They have a celebration of what they call everybody and what they call Mataji? When baby is born, they
Baby shower.
baby showers and everybody is so happy, but they don't realize how that baby is suffering, in the home at that time. They are doing baby shower and they collect all these things. But what if that baby is praying, please relieve me from their festival, please relieve me. So that thing, how you going to understand what was happening to me when I was in the womb? So here is the Bhagavatam. It gives that knowledge. This is what you wear, and this is what you pray. What are you doing in this world again? So what you're trying to explore, this is what you prayed. And just be serious and take this path. Now just come back to home. That's the whole substance, Vasudevam Sarvamiti. So Mahatma Sudurlabha. So therefore, devotees are very rare in this world. It's very difficult to accept somebody is creator because I think I am the creator. So I am the controller. And nowadays everything is controlled by remote. Last time my father-in-law was in India and he was controlling his whole home from it. So open the lock, pull the water to the day, everything is controlling by turn off the light, everything. You can do sitting in India, you can control your home in America. Sitting in America, you can do a surgery in Mumbai, all the laser surgery of your heart. So why people will believe in all these things? It's all the remote control. Science is so advanced, but they do not know the science which is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So whatever intelligence we see in this material of the world of a doctor, the doctor cannot tell you. He can give you medicine as long as the soul is there. When the soul leaves, your medicine don't work. But till then, he thinks I am the God. People go to doctor also, I'm God. People worship him as the God. So even the doctor do not know what's going on in the body. He just assumes, this may be happening, this may be happening. But the whole system is, as Prabhupada mentions, it's in Ayurveda. So Ayurveda is basically treatment, natural treatment, because your body is created by the items or the ingredients from the universe. So similarly, same ingredients can cure your disease. Ayurveda says food is a medicine, medicine is a food. If you have a proper medicine, proper food, you will not get any disease. You see, probably your grandfathers and everything, they live for 80 years, 90 years without anything, I know my father, even at the age of 85, he was fetching water. He never went to the doctor. Never went to the doctor. So, why is that? Because they aligned so much with the nature and they maintain their body so healthy, so that focus is on Krishna. You can have a good health, there's nothing wrong, but focus is Krishna. And if you have a proper food, everything becomes, so therefore the Vedic parameter of happiness. So three things are there. First thing is home cooked, possibly home grown food. That is the happiness. Vedic parameter, Vedic literature don't say that how much money you have. No. It said home cooked, home grown food. That is the first one. Second thing, free from disease. And third thing, free from debts. So if you have these three things, your life is happy. And one depends on other. If your food is good, there is no disease. If there is no disease, no doctor. So you don't need that much money. So proper food. So Mahaprasade Govind. If you eat Mahaprasad, your health remains good. So point here is all these explanation of all the knowledge is to Vasudevan Sarvamiti. So I don't know, I'll stop here. If anybody have any questions or comments.
You said what was the first point?
Debts, DEBTS, not debt.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Gave us a lot of insights to this wonderful verse. Very grateful. And in that translation, Prabhuji, it's mentioned that, both The cure for the
deity.
diseases, it's also related to the rivers, and that's why they ask them to dip in the river like that. Could you elaborate on that, Prabhuji?
Yes. See, all our body is controlled by the devatas. Even our eyelid movement, we think I am moving, but it is controlled. Everything is controlled by the demigods. You know. So the water element is controlled by moon. You know.
Yeah.
So therefore, when you feel peaceful in the moonlight, and you also feel moon is directly related to vegetation and water. So when you go in front of water, your mind becomes peaceful. Right? So Prabhupada is mentioning there that if your imbalance of water is in your blood, then they are doctor they ask you to go and take a bath, cold water bath, or this kind of. There is a therapy. Even today, if you go to Ayurveda, there are therapies about bath. You know. So for certain diseases are there. So that's Ayurvedic treatment Prabhupada. And the controlling deity Prabhupada is mentioning here, although he didn't give the name, but I believe it is moon. Moon is the controlling deity of water. And you see the whole universe, 75% water. You know, same way body, 75% water in the form of blood. So our body is exactly a replica of the whole universe.
It's quite revolutionary to see that he uses the word nervous problems, nervous disorders, I believe.
Yes.
It's really amazing. Thank you, Prabhuji.
You can ask any Ayurvedic doctor to explain what it is. Yes. Prabhu.
Thank you so much for wonderful class. So wonderful to have you in association. I was just contemplating on the last point which we talked about, in connection with Krishna provides everything. And then we quoted Tukaram there. I was hearing his great gurus were talking about the prasad is transcendental, but the body is material. He mentioned one point, and I just want to basically create some kind of a joint here. Even while honoring prasad, if I don't have rules and regulations, what I can eat and what I don't eat, because my body based on pitta, vata, and this, we get disease. How do we balance it out? Saying that yes, like similar thing which I was hearing about Raghunath Das Goswami, that he would eat something. If we eat, we will die. He had so much of faith in prasad. How do we connect these dots together?
Yes, so we have to understand what is our position. Those who are in first standard should not imitate those who are doing PhD. You know? And you study what you are given. Right? So we follow our own level. You follow whatever is given. If Prabhupada said eat prasad, we eat prasad. We don't follow Raghunath Das Goswami drinking once in a while, one spoon of buttermilk once in 2-3 days. You know, we cannot do that. So Prabhupada is given to us. As far as prasad and body is concerned, yes, even after eating prasadam, why body is getting diseased? You know, so many people die with so many diseases. Correct? So you have to understand prasad, it looks like a matter. Just like body also looks like a matter, but it is not a matter. In the eyes of Krishna, everything is spiritual. Now we are looking other way. That's why there is a matter and there is a spirit. Aham sarvasya prabhu. Everything is coming from Krishna. How that can be material? That cannot be material. It is spiritual. But because we have forgotten the source, that becomes matter. And it matters to understand that I have forgotten Krishna. So this verse from Mayavadi uses this verse very much. Brahma, was that? Brahmarpano, Brahma Havir, Brahmano, Brahmana, Hutam, you know, everything is Brahma. The person who is offering yajna is Brahma. Food you are offering is also Brahman. Food is accepting is also Brahman. Everything is Brahman. So everything is same. Right? Everything is same. Brahman, 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 Brahman. The soul is Brahman, body is Brahman, God is Brahman, everything is Brahman. Right? Aham Brahmasmi. Right? But the source of all this Brahman is Parabrahman. He is different from this. So therefore, when you eat prasadam as a normally people, ordinary people, they eat, they also get the disease and devotees eating prasad, they also get the disease. So, is there any difference? Why we are eating prasad? Why we are getting disease? So, what is happening, prasad? That is giving you a life to your soul, consciousness. Body will take its course because it's material nature. Understand? Body is from the material nature. By eating that food, your consciousness is developing. Your body is really getting a life. This body is about to die no matter what you do. Right? Your life, real body, Satchidananda, is building. The Chinanda body is building. Only the clothes are deteriorating. You understand? So this is body no matter what you do. And Krishna gives disease, birth, old age disease to the devotee also. Sometimes non-devotees, they can't understand. You are doing itna, you say you become free from birth, old age disease. All the devotees are dying. They are all getting disease. They are dying by corona. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna's corona in corona? What happened? So this body is subject to material nature. Correct? But there is another body, soul, that you are building up with prasadam, association, service, and that body is becoming strong. So externally, you are going through the same thing. Correct? You are suffering the same thing. They have oxygen on you. You probably, shivering and so many. External body may show those symptoms. But internally, you have become so strong, you can tolerate that. That is why Krishna said, Tam Titikshasva Bharata. He's not telling you because you become a devotee, you will not feel heat, you will not feel cold, you will not feel all these things. Titiksha. So when you understand, it's okay, it's a body, how much we care when our shirt is tearing off. It's fake, it's shirt. It's a shirt. It is going to happen like that. Correct? So what the next shirt I am wearing is most important. So that body is building by prasadam, seva, chanting. And that inner strength you have to face birth, old age, disease, and death. So externally, people may think this verse is truth for true avajananti mamudha manushim tanvasata for Krishna, but it's also for devotees. Also for devotees, you should not think body of a devotee is like a normal body like us. Why? Because what we are seeing is just an external clothes. Real body that he has developed. And therefore, I was telling the example of, His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj or Radha Govind Maharaj or Gopal Krishna Maharaj. See, physically, if you see them, it is impossible. We have one, strong body even than them. But what we do? So it is not the body, that has the strength. The soul gives that strength. And when you develop that soul body, therefore these acharyas, these wonderful sannyasis in our movement, they are working so hard. People in back home in India, they talk about Modi works 14, 18 hours. What about our sannyasis? Jayapataka Maharaj probably not taken a one single second break since he met Prabhupada. Every time he is engaged, no breaks at all. So where that power comes, that's prasadam, association, reading Bhagavatam, survey. So that only you can see in the action of a devotee. His body is taking course of material nature. That is going to go. And I always give an example. Just like when you go in a rain, correct? If you have an umbrella, no matter how hard the rain is, you will be saved. But still, your water will be there till your knees. Correct? You have an umbrella, you will be saved till your knees. Depends upon your height, but just to give an example. So, but there will be water still be, will be coming on your feet. Correct? So you will get the effect of rain, but your whole body is saved. Right? So if you take Krishna Chhatra, the shelter of Krishna, you are saved so much, but little effects will be there. Why? To keep you humble and keep you thinking that this material body is a place of misery. Otherwise, you think, oh, this is a nice body, now I can enjoy. No, Krishna gives you the same material miseries to understand why Krishna, he is saying Dukhalema Shashvatam. He is saying this body, don't be attached to this body, Dukhalema Shashvatam. And he gives you the signs, even through the devotees. And then through the devotees, he teaches you how to respond to that. Those who are sick, and see how they are completely transcendental to the body. So we see pure devotees are also getting disease, and bodies, fragile. But see their consciousness. They are acting on their real body, not the external body. And Brahmanand Prabhu used to tell one story. And Prabhupada, when he had a stroke in New York, they took him to the hospital. And they had to do some kind of little surgery. And they gave anesthesia, And Prabhupada's mouth was moving, And the doctor was waiting when he will become, body become silent. And they came to Brahmananda. They said, Brahmananda asked them why the operation is not going. He said, we have given anesthesia to Swamiji, but his lips are still moving, And Brahmananda said, that will never stop. Because he was chanting Hare Krishna, even he has anesthesia, See, Prabhupada, every second, if you see, he's looking there, Krishna, Krishna, he's talking something, immediately Hare Krishna. He's like, always he's chanting. So it has become a swabhava. So he had that pure body, Sachidananda, is a devotional is there, completely pure devotion. External things we look at. So through spiritual master, through these so-called, material disease, they teach us how to respond to the, even if the material nature is affecting on you, you focus because you are not part of this body. So prasad is giving you that health. Of course, prasad ultimately turns into urine and stool and blood and pus, But at the same time, the consciousness is developed, and that is the most important ingredient, which is unseen. And that is a love, which is unseen. The effect is we are building our Krishna consciousness. We are building our real body. Okay? Very good. Yes.
I'm sorry, maybe it may not be very relevant to this class, but just trying to understand. So yesterday I was reading, purport Srila Prabhupada is saying that a devotee, even though a devotee maybe look like he's part of this material nature, as long as he's serving Krishna, he's liberated.
Yes.
And then I was thinking like that Bhagavatam speaks about bhakti in mode of goodness, passion, ignorance, and of course, and then there is unalloyed Kevala bhakti. So, I mean, sorry to ask kind of question, but from your practical realization that like I'm a conditioned soul, and even though I'm not qualified to practice pure devotional service because I'm not in the mode of pure goodness yet. So what does it look like? Like how can I know that I'm following the principles of pure devotional service and I'm really trying? What does it look like practically?
See, one time Prabhupada, somebody challenged Prabhupada. Can you show me God? No. Prabhupada said, I can see, I can show you, but you have eyes to see. Correct? Have you seen God? I can show you, but you have eyes to see that. Correct? So this is all called self-realization. We develop our Krishna consciousness and then we experience. So these devotees are there to help us. By their own example, they are showing what needs to be done to see Krishna. So if you follow that and be honest to ourselves, then it will be revealed to us. Sevan mukhi jivatu swayam eva spuratyada. These things cannot be imposed from outside. Bhakti cannot be imposed from outside. It is, we have to develop from within. Right? I may tell you so many things. Krishna is so beautiful. One time Radhanath Maharaj giving lecture in Vrindavan Yatra. What 10,000 devotees are there. See, you can see Krishna right there, walking. Krishna and Balaram, they're rightly walking in front of you, among all the devotees. Now Maharaj is saying, we are all thinking, where is Krishna and Ram, So he may say that, but he said it out of his realization, out of his, he's saying Vrindavan, Krishna, Balaram everywhere. But, so we develop a faith. And then eventually, as we become pure, you'll be able to see. Right? And you can see the difference. I was giving this example also. The first time when you came to the temple, how you looked at the deities, and now how you look at the deities. There is a difference in consciousness. First time when you took the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, it's okay, but how you look at it, it's my life now, correct? Prasadam, you will not accept anything else. So that firm faith has developed. It brought you till here. So that gives you another step. Yes, if I am correct till now, then the next step is also correct. Then the next step is also correct. So therefore, day by day, just like when we build a whole building, we don't put all the bricks together, one brick at a time, one brick at a time, Don't worry about 30-story building, one brick at a time. So do whatever we are supposed to do every day. And that will build the whole building of Krishna consciousness. So at my point, I may say this is realization. It's not going to work on you. But Prabhupada said, I will show you the path to see the God. I may say yes or no, how are you going to believe it? I may say, yes, I have seen God. What does it make a difference to you? Right? But I will give you a path to see Krishna. So my realization, you think I'm in goodness, but I'm the most ignorant person in this moment. Correct? You think just because I talk whatever it is, I don't know why you all feel like that. But I'm the most ignorant. Right? My realization is I have no taste. I have no taste for reading Bhagavatam. I have no taste for chanting. I have no taste for association. But I know these things will help me, so I come. I do. So I am still on that duty level, because I have promised Guru Maharaj I chant 16 rounds. It is not that I have developed a depth, Satsuru Maharaj gives an example in one of his books. That how do you know you have developed a taste to a holy name? He said when you chant 16, you should not feel relieved. Immediately you should go on 17th round. Correct? Immediately you should go on 17th round. Go on 18th round. That is Haridas Thakur. Now he is not satisfied. Rupa Goswami, they are not satisfied. He said, why I have no tongue, so many tongues. So we, at least we try to do whatever we are supposed to do slowly, depending upon our desire and honesty and motivation, So we will come close to Krishna. So we have a path. And my Maharaj, the Guru Maharaj gave me, this is my very favorite answer from so many questions we asked Maharaj. This is my very favorite answer. How do I know I am advancing in Krishna consciousness? Maharaj said, be honest to yourself. Be honest to yourself. Are you doing whatever you have promised Guru Maharaj? That's it. Because outside I can show you such a big scholar or devotee, all these things we can show externally. But internally, I know myself how much I am away from what I have promised to my Guru Maharaj, what I have promised to Krishna. So don't worry about it. Yes, we are in this material, we are all struggling. We are all walking baby, but walking on the path, Sipram Bhavati Dharmatma, may not be now, but we are on the right path. We go on doing it. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur, staying in Jagannath Puri, last days of his life, he is writing, Amara Jivan Sada Pape Rata Nahika Punya Relation. Now you believe that? He's showing us how we should feel in front of Krishna. Maharaj was telling, if you have not done any simple activity in the last 50 years, remember the simple activity you did before 50 years. That will keep you humble. Don't think that I'm so, So if you think I'm better, then you will, Krishna's mercy is blocked. But yes, your mood is perfect. So I don't know, I'm ignorant. Yes, then you get knowledge. If I say I'm knowledgeable, who will give you knowledge? I'm a devotee, who will give you devotional service? I don't have anything. That's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur's mode. Amara Jivan Sada Papera. So that's why devotee is humble, no matter how much he is advanced. He always thinks I don't know anything. And then you can know everything. So we put our efforts, like Akrura. You see, when he's going to Vrindavan, when he says Krishna steps, is how I can enter on this? These are Krishna steps, how I can? I'm not qualified at all. But Krishna is powerful. Even though I'm Papi, he is Patit Pavan. He has the power to purify me. I have done so many sins, I have no power to become free from that. But Krishna is powerful. He will do it. So have that faith, follow, we go ahead. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
I could feel, Prabhuji, like certain things you said, I could feel like some attraction, some taste.
Yes, that gives you faith for further going ahead. We may not be pure devotees, will cry in front of the deities. Now, what? At least you feel running at 7:45. Oh, Krishna is giving darshan. Mangalarti, feel that yes, Krishna is giving darshan. In the beginning, when I was a brahmachari, they used to throw a bucket of water at 4 o'clock. Nobody's getting up. You have to pour, get up and take a bath and go. In the beginning, it was there. But, after some days, you become so used to it. If you don't go for one day, the whole day, it's like, I'm missing something. And the next day, you become serious. In the beginning, some force is required. Some force is required. Because we are doing everything. Krishna consciousness means acting against the mind. So mind will give trouble. So in the beginning, same mind gives trouble no matter how you want to become. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you. I don't know what time it is and how long it goes.
Check with the devotees. Devotees in Zoom, do you all have any questions? Does anyone have any question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavarpanam, Prabhuji, all questions. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Priya Madhavi. Amazing class, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, thank you. Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
His Grace Vrindavan Prabhu ji ki.
Jai.